I do hope the Knights of Favonius are all working hard.
Happy to oblige.
Freeze!
Illusion shatter. Let's light it up. Off we go. There is no escape. Let's light it up! Adventure time! Let's light it up!
I'll be back.
Adventure time! Let's light it up! Shine down! Let's light it up! There is no escape!
Keep your eyes wide open.
Illusion shattered! Why do they never miss? Off we go! Shine down! Everybody stand back!
Now you shall perish! I swear by my sword!
Things are going a little too smoothly today.
Illusion shattered!
I'm going in!
Shine down! Inazuma shines eternal! There is no escape! Shine down!
It's a miracle! Adventure time! Benny's adventure team. I have failed you.
Come on, serious suggestions, please. I'm not trying to write a thriller here. It's supposed to be an essay, you understand?
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after, you...
Yeah, well, this is... I want to write my essay on...
Yes, you came to me. So...
Did one of them just mention Tatarasuna? But that's all the way in Inazuma! Is it just Paimon, or is it kinda unusual for someone in Sumeru to want to write a paper about that? Everyone here is just going about their business. Maybe great! Let's go find out what this Tatarasuna mystery...
Alright, I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and your editorial direction. Ugh, if only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about him, this seems like the kind of thing he'd know about.
Oh, you're the traveler, you say?
Hey, what's with that face? Don't believe us?
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploits when I was still in Inazuma. This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit, I
Sawada, for the love of... Sorry, we don't get out much, so our social skills are kinda traveler, out to Tatarasuna?
Actually, we don't know much about that place either. In fact, we only came over here because we heard you talking about it and wanted to...
I see. My teacher chose this area of research as a personal challenge. He said it's difficult to get into because even Inazumans don't know much about Tatarasuna's past. But who'd have thought that...
If you don't mind, I'd love to show you all my outline for the book I'm writing about
hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive or a...
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease yourselves in gently by taking...
Let me give you some background. This all started with the discovery of some records in Tatarasuna. The writings mentioned someone by the name of Mikoshi Nagamasa, who crafted a fine blade. But in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it, and killed his servant Katsuragi. Why? Apart from the swordmaker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a kabuki mono. This seems to be an Inazuman word for an eccentric stranger, someone who dresses funny or acts in an unusual way.
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching these events on the ground. This kabuki mono lived in Tatarasuna for a while before disappearing without a trace. And
So first this strange person goes missing, then a murder happens? Seems kinda fishy to Paimon.
Yes, my thoughts exactly. So I helped out too. I asked everyone I could think of if they knew anything about what happened back then. And wow! Did I get lucky!
Stop shouting!
This part's important. I just wanted to make it stand out. It just so happens that a friend of mine works at the government records office. He looked into it for me, and I can now confirm that all the aforementioned individuals did, in fact, live in Inazuma over 400 years ago. Even back then, Tatarasuna was already at the center of Inazuma's smelting industry. The man in charge was a government official named Niwa. Curiously enough, it seems like he went missing too.
Wait, so there are two missing people in the story now?
That's right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot of history to it. Have you ever heard of the great swordsmith clans of Inazuma?
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah, like Ishin art and so on?
Wow, yes. You really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So, basically, this Niwa was a distant relative of the Kaidahara clan, the last practitioners of Ishin art. Something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan, leading to their downfall. I don't know the details, but taken in light of everything else going on around that time, it makes you wonder whether it's all connected somehow.
The Kaidahara clan?
Sawada, you left out the biggest detail of all.
Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? Brace your minds, ladies and gents, for they are about to be blown. Or maybe...
Get to the point, for Pete's sake.
According to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the Kabuki Mono was not a human, but a puppet.
A puppet?
Aha! Judging by the looks on your faces, you do know something after all.
No! Paimon just meant, how creepy!
I agree, it does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are by no means uncommon, spooky events are to be expected. And that's exactly what...
Oh, and please read my essay draft as well. Sawada was encouraging me to follow his more creative approach, but I think Oh! How about if I plug the holes in Sawada...
Wait! You're allowed to just make stuff up? Pretty sure you've gone from essay to guessay there.
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone I could think of. Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on at anything like the level you seem to be...
Good point. Okay, back to the drawing board.
We have some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say goodbye for now.
All right, thank you. If you find out any more info about all this, please...
Hey, so that thing they were talking about, it has to do with the balladeer, does... Okay, then, even if we did know something about it, we probably couldn't share it with them, huh? After all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. Information about people like that is usually super confidential. If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many essay topics as there are... Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like... the balladeer! No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see. Traveler, Paimon, there you are. Nahida! Bad news. We just saw the balladeer strolling around. Did he escape or... Ah! It's him!
Sure enough. You're here.
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary of Surasthana? Aren't you supposed to be locked up? I know you must have a lot of questions. Please, allow me to explain. It was my idea to set the balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul for me. A deal? Huh. You sure you trust this guy?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Don't flatter yourself. It was... Nahida said there's still some mysteries in you to figure out.
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking you were just getting cold feet.
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. Could I ask you all to please calm down? But Paimon's worried about you, Nahida. Don't let him trick you.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just when you think you've seen it all.
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us!
As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal, even with the balladeer.
Well, I for one have no reason to doubt you, considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about that in the fullness of time. The balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. That puts him in quite a precarious position. Plus, he's a former harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Fatui plan to respond.
Wait a second. Former? You mean he's not a harbinger anymore?
I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a loser, so...
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. That's how it was between me and the Fatui, and also between each of the harbingers. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I have to admit that I'm... Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my utility, I need to have a backup plan for myself.
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection. So, why not join forces with us?
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear, don't you? And they're your friends, so I guess you'll be siding with them.
Yeah, obviously! Nihira, don't listen to him!
Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. We still have time. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate today.
All right, then I'll do what we agreed.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch.
Nihira, are you serious about this?
Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely doing it for your benefit, yes. As I told you once before, there's information about your twin in Irminsul.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole reason we came to see you today. So you...
You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. And since the balladeer used to be one of them, he'll be better acquainted with this information than I am. He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, some traces of its power remain in him. He can still connect. The amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. Sifting through all of it without knowing what to look for would take too long, even for me. So I asked the balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. He's more familiar with this kind of information, and should be able to find it more quickly.
Exactly! Or what if... Paimon just doesn't trust him! He's treated us as enemies every time we've run into him!
I understand. But sometimes, everything is dictated by which side you're on. How things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. And Traveler, I know what your heart desires. Most of our minds have connected several times before. There is a corner of your heart reserved as Sumeru's deity. It is my responsibility to be if this deal with the balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, it's my pleasure, really. You're
Paimon's still worried about this idea.
I was going to contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the balladeer on my behalf while even though he only has a fraction of his full power left. That's still a fraction of a former harbinger. If you could accompany him, it would... Of course, I'll be there to help guide you. Great. Prepare yourselves. I'm going to transport you into Irminsul.
It looks pretty different here compared to last time. The colors are gentler.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company.
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way!
I understand that prisoners have to put up with—
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. Unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. You must put aside your differences and be extremely careful as you navigate your way through. I know there are many grievances between you, on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm after entry. This is as much for your own safety as anything else.
Fine. Let's call it truce. But only until this mission's over.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are gonna be traveling together after— Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do is keep your pretty eyes open and try not to fall behind.
You sure are confident. Paimon will give you that.
If there are no further objections, or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh. The snark on this guy. It's unbearable.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection proceed.
Is this a small sapling? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him. Wow! So this is the inside of Irminsul. Ooh! Paimon's never seen anything like this.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Teyvat. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart—
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul—
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted. Go ahead.
Let's go. Stay close.
Hey, so... say we did go running off in here. What are you...
I was just imagining the look on your— Anything's possible in here.
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
It looks the same in every direction. No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little? We're here.
What a huge tree!
Lesser Lord Kusanali,
Good, you made it.
ready when you—
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive current.
The Balladier's actually doing what Nahida tells him.
The rest is up to you.
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're the ones with nothing.
Traveler, Paimon, Would you like to talk? Yes. I've also invited Paimon to join.
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our
heads? That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends. There's no—
Paimon's never tried this before. Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladeer's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking back, but he seems—
As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has yet to understand. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers. Well done. Smart and attentive as— So, you made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal turned the Balladeer into the person he—
Paimon got nothing.
Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an
If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki Mono and so on, yes.
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatara Suna's history is still
Oh? How interesting. Those two managed to deduce quite a lot through guesswork alone.
So the Gese got it right?
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatara Suna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
What makes you think we're talking to each—
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation. Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So, have you found anything yet?
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Wait! How did you know about that? Did Nahida tell you?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you. Right now, we have to keep the peace, huh?
This light, it looks similar to—
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement! You have to share it with us!
Shh. Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatara Suna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act rashly.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so? Well, since you insist.
It's...
Whoa!
I have been in Tatara Suna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, and indeed, everyone else. Under your leadership, Tatara Suna is a warm, welcoming place. Like a giant village. People are gainfully employed. Their lives, as I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. As for Tatara Suna, it was originally established as a means of safely disposing crystal marrow. The forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material. Skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the two of you never would have joined forces. You allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you— Even now, you remain one of Tatara Suna's key consultants, working right here alongside us. I believe it is you, sir, who are
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable.
So you say, Escher. But
my good sir.
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because what have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? And recently, as you well know, none of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with Shogun. This is our last, but that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher?
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torichio, the yokai struck down by the Shogun's own hand. If he
You're well informed on the
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat? Sadly, I am so very attached to my craft.
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably to my death. But what about you?
Judging from the look in your eyes, you don't seem to trust—
Drop the act! We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy TRiD3NT has worked. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment. A moment like this, where you finish talking and I
You...
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well. It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that Escher was an alias. And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity, and what I seek in TRiD3NT.
Did you
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace.
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but you told him yourself. You're not a puppet. You're a human. You're just missing a heart.
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out.
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a virtue. If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui Harbinger. Call me the Doctor.
The Fatui? Who? What do you want?
Just to create a minor inconvenience for your nation.
That's it? That's why you gave us your cursed technology? Just...
Look how even the righteous soul is... My device functions precisely as... It is easier for a person to be possessed. Make no mistake, even without you.
If you give, he has nothing to prove.
What a beautiful way to see the world. Think of me as a monster or a demon. If I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? Mr. Niwa? Already dead. Jester, I have completed the task you gave me. Creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. What fun it... I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade. And if not, let's...
Hey, are you alright?
Dottore. Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic from Fontaine? But why did we see things from his perspective?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit, it must be the truth.
Maybe so, but it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device. You know very well what that means.
Let's give him some space. He looks really mad.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
I'm not still confused about the Tatarasuna incident.
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. So now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the kabuki mono to live with the people of Tatarasuna. Later, the doctor showed up, disguised as the mechanic from Fontaine. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma. Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, after the events you just saw in that memory, the load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the fern, the mechanic answered. Niwa fled, the mechanic removed the withered heart from the balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold-blooded murder is a cursed thing, but it has protected. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival.
Holy moly. So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned...
Yes. Only if he understands this can he choose a new path.
Tottori, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, it won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, are you investigating the stuff we want to know about?
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not counted as part of Teyvat.
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end, I guess I can share some other info that might interest you.
Huh? About what?
The reason why there are records about your sister in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was her first destination when she arrived in this world. Plus, she only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your sister for a time. I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. All I can say is, I wouldn't lie to you about this. Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes. Astonishing news.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but was it valuable?
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Huh? What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very long. I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me. Give me your hand. Can you hear my voice inside your head? No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, all I can do is exchange a few words with you. So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past? Done.
Huh? What the? What happened? Paimon only saw you hold hands for his—
Nothing. I was just thanking him for helping me. So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't do anything stupid!
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone.
Balladeer! Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared. Come— Oh no, he's really—
Oh, can you hear me?
Nahida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just now?
It was the Balladeer's fault. He shut you out.
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or...
Where the heck did he go? Ugh, it's all our fault.
Don't be. It's not your fault. We're running out of time. Follow my lead and get out of Irminsul as soon...
We're out! And we're at—
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you. I'm sorry, but this isn't something I need your help with. Leave this one to me.
an emergency? How—
Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbances, it won't lead to a disaster.
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. What do you think the Balladeer meant? And why did he suddenly grab onto you before? He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible! Right! You can't just rewrite history. All that stuff happened already in real life. It's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no— So, why does Paimon still have a bad feeling about this? Paimon can't help but feel scared about what he might do. Oh, Paimon's so Huh? Ah! Sorry. Paimon accidentally... But erasing yourself from history? It's succeed. There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what we should... Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But Paimon's still so worried. So, alright, Paimon will start. First dish. Munstack grilled fish. Oh, and chicken mushroom skewers. And Dragon chili chicken. Oh, also Adeptus Temptation golden shrimp balls. What was Paimon supposed to be doing just now? Paimon was, talking? Huh. Paimon suddenly can't remember what she was... The Balladeer? Is that a food too? Huh. Weird name, though. What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something... So, the Balladeer. Is that someone's name? 'Cause... Okay, sure. Where are we going? Huh? Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay? You're acting like this...
Ah, it's been a while. Of course. Go ahead. Oh. Now there's a question I wasn't expecting. The once renowned Raiden Gokuden, comprised of 5 branches. Amenoma, Futsu, Ishin, Hyakume, and Senju. The art of forging practiced by these 5 clans was first taught to them personally by the almighty Shogun. Over time, most of the great swordsmith clans of old have since fallen into decline, but fortunately, Kaedehara Kazuha recently returned to Inazuma and took up the mantle of the Ishin art. Now, if my memory serves me right, you yourself were present when he forged the Ishin blade.
Oh yeah, we were! We learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then too. It seems like...
That, my friend, in fact, this was not made known to me for most of my life. All these years, I knew of those great clans' demise, but never the cause. Only recently, when the question was on my mind, did I ask Kaedehara Kazuha about this. He told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the Raiden Gokuden, it was right that I should know the truth. There is no harm in telling you, but I must warn you. The Raiden Gokuden were the targets of a murderous rampage by a vengeful bladesmith.
Vengeful?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. One brave swordsmith heard the commotion. Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day, and overseeing it was the armory officer. His surname was Niwa, though he had family ties to the Kaedehara clan. Knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives, Mr. Niwa and the swordsmith leaped together into the furnace. The furnace quit. The smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow to his... In his heart, the whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. He hated the almighty shogun for her apparent indifference towards his father's death, and he hated everyone who had done nothing to try and save him. Powerless and destitute, the only legacy he had to pass on to his children was his hatred. Alas, if only the story could have ended there. But 100 years ago, the then head of this family reached the end of his wits. He could bear the... Finally, he made a drastic decision to take revenge on the Raiden Gokuden. In doing so, he sought to vent his pent anger and shake the very foundations of Inazuma's forging. In his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even bladesmiths from the Hyakume clan which he belonged to. His goal was absolute, the devastation of all of the Raiden Gokuden. But when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, his killing spree came to an abrupt end. He failed to catch them unawares. They fought back fiercely, and they did not spare his life. That is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin art survived that day. I suppose...
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yesterday, in fact. We spoke for a while over some tea. My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. There are other places you want to visit too, right? On to the next stop! Lead the way, traveler!
Rain won't slow me down.
We're here! This is the Yashiro
Traveler! It's been a while. If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I'm afraid your timing is unfortunate.
Are they out on business?
The Commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the Commissioner's place. If it's urgent, you're welcome to wait inside until they get back.
What do you think? Shall we go in?
If it were anyone else, I couldn't allow it. But seeing as you're so close with the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I think it should...
We'll be heading in then.
Hello, dears. Is this... Of course, traveler. Yes, I know who you are. Miss Kami, what would you like to know? Oh, they're both very well indeed. As for the Commissioner himself, well, you...
So pretty much business as usual.
Very much.
Well, got any more questions?
You're very welcome. Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. She seems, I must say, many...
Alright, goodbye for now. Great! Goodbye, ma'am. Don't worry.
All right, then.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Yep, everything's taken care of now. Don't...
Very well. Safe...
This weather is perfect. We should move out.
Do I have company?
What kind of person comes to a place like this and just spaces?
Hey, I wasn't spacing out.
Sure you were. Your eyes were...
Why are you making fun of me? I told you I wasn't spacing.
Oh, he said TRiD3NT. Looks like we could...
Oh, is there something you want to know about TRiD3NT? My name's Xavier. Certainly do. If there's anything you want to know, just ask away. Like the back of my... Not only that, but I've met people in Inazuma. Oh, well, it's a long story. I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost
A couple?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. A fun fact, I'm not the first Fontaine tech guy to come and work on it. They say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technique.
Hey, weren't you gonna ask Xavier something about TRiD3NT?
Oh, I didn't realize...
Me neither. But...
What brought this on? Did you just... Sure, go ahead. A kabuki mono? I do know the word. Inazuman for those eccentric types who always go... But sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I... Of course!
Oh, we're leaving?
Oh, you're most welcome. Farewell.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for. Sure, but what's up with you today? Whatever, keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. Hey, don't mind. All right, let's...
Hey, it's them!
Akaba, Sawada, you're still here?
Indeed we are. If you have a moment,
We have time. What do you want to talk to us?
It's the same topic we discussed last time.
Still looking for more info about TRiD3NT, huh? Should...
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress. Huh? Oh,
I presume you'll want to read mine as...
well, what do you think?
Hey, Traveler, remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he could gather more information?
What did you find out?
It's a long story. Basically, we have some friends in Inazuma.
Wow, so many new
Well, well, so it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh, ugh. So there's no ghost story?
This new information actually...
Yes, okay, point...
And they're back at it. These guys are really...
Oh, so sorry. Look at us, prattling on about our
You're welcome.
Keep us in the loop if you find out anything else.
Will do. where to start. Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time.
The Balladeer? It sounds like some kind of code name. You look troubled. Traveler?
Hey, what's wrong? You look so upset.
That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the Balladeer erased himself from Irminsul, hoping that he could change the path.
But how was he even able to do that?
As the traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase themselves from Irminsul, the world would change to reflect the new reality.
So, you believe this person really existed, and we just don't remember him because... well, because he...
Yes. Theoretically speaking, the traveler comes from a world beyond Tevat. That's why there's no information about him in Irminsul, and it also explains why any changes to Irminsul wouldn't affect him. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten, it's you. It's quite incredible when you think about it.
Paimon's having a hard time understanding this Balladeer guy's motivations. Why did he do it?
I can only make inferences based on the information. Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had... Once the Balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, and he couldn't keep hating humans after that. The story makes sense. The Balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the doctor's help. He was unsuccessful, but retained the power to... That power then enabled...
Yeah. It just feels so hopeless.
Please wait a moment. I want to check something. Found it. This should be the one. It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming everything he has told us.
What is it?
A record from a personal collection. You should take a look.
Is this a fairy tale?
I authored this record myself.
Huh? You wrote a fairy tale?
When combined with the Traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory.
Hold on. So this record's...
Yes. Changing the information in Irminsul can't change information that...
That's incredible! What a great...
And sending the Traveler into Irminsul with the Balladeer must have been... This story is abstract enough that it still resonates. But if we connect all... There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. Once in a while. But the monsters, the kitten... Furious at a gray fox stood up. The monster The fire was... The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away. Never again how it wished to... I will become the...
We solved it!
not just to become a god. This memory was extracted for creating a deity. I buried it deep inside.
It's hard to believe that this Paimon has no memory of him at all.
The Balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders. And although he was unsuccessful, he still helped you. Before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail. That Conria was where your twin first came into. We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect.
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he...
This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all. So the answer is not everything. People, when you give someone the truth, to others looking on, this may seem like a point. Never forget that even when we walk and that is what you have been.
Yeah, Nahita's right. Cheer up. How about we go get something to eat?
Good idea. Paimon, what?
You got it! Come on! Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar! That'll be sure to lift our spirits! It must be really tough being the only one who remembers all that. But Paimon's always here to help cheer you up. What should we eat first? Hey, are you gonna answer or what? Alright, whatever you want. Well, Paimon will be right here when you figured stuff out. What is it? Have you figured... Why'd you jump up all of a sudden?
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill. Look, here.
Hey! Hey, wait!
You mean me?
No, not you. That kid! Didn't you see? Little rascal grabbed my last two... Look, if you're gonna help...
I wasn't paying close enough attention. Sorry, boss. I think you're right. Maybe it's the city.
Who's that guy? You know him or something? He's who?
You're a strange one, kiddo. I don't want to take...
No, please.
You're welcome.
Leave it to me.
Stop. You don't want money.
That's right. We can talk more.
Hey, what do we do now? Okay, stay...
Yeah, this'll do.
Even though you say he's the Balladeer? Oh, alright.
This should be enough. Guess I should wash them before I take... Huh? You two over there. Is there something I can help you with? You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to know. Have we met before? No, we haven't met. I have no recollection.
Are you
Sorry, but I just can't take your...
a puppet?
Huh?
You were right! The look on...
I guess you do know me after all. That is not something I share with a lot of people. Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, I'm sure... Okay, but please let me deliver these goods to my...
Are you really working for that guy?
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm. And he let me take shelter in his cart.
That's...
Let me take these back. Then I'll come with...
Then let's return to this...
Here you go, boss.
Oh, you...
Something's come up.
I was just a...
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help... But look, it was pouring down. Imagine you and me for a second. It's a little weird, right? But anyway, taking you in didn't put me...
But I don't... No. Then I suppose this is where we...
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of characters over the years.
Thank you. All right, done.
What's wrong? Huh?
Hello. I do apologize for the...
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything.
You say that you are trekking across Teyvat to train yourself. Many other Inazumans who describe themselves in this way call themselves Shugenja. Why do you refer to yourself as a wanderer?
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me, it sounds like a plant with no roots. But these two claim that they know me, and that I have a hidden past unknown even to myself.
I wouldn't call it the past. I don't like to rely on using
Oh, like a past...
Yes, something far more distant than the past.
Okay, I have to ask. Oh, you want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. If it's that difficult to talk about, but I'll be able to handle it.
Is truth something you care about?
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous incarnation, you did many things that would be considered evil. You nearly died because of what other people did. And many died because of you. As a you drifted from place to place, never... Actions rooted in persistence, sometimes...
I gave everything I had, but it barely...
In terms of the outcome alone...
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of right and wrong. Each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place.
That is the nature of truth. If one thing is right, its opposite must be wrong.
It seems like my previous incarnation wasn't the most likable individual.
We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything.
If we were enemies, why are you trying to help me find the truth?
This is so frustrating! This guy's supposed to be our arch enemy, but now he's just some random stranger. He's got so much to answer for.
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of...
Yes, it's all true. I can even show you the memories themselves, if...
Please, I want to...
Even though it will cause your present self great mental anguish?
I'm just a puppet.
Very well.
Wait, shouldn't we go with him?
Don't worry. Whatever danger I might face...
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on my behalf?
Oh, good point.
Understood.
Thank you.
This looks like...
Right now, you're in a dream I created. These memories will...
Sounds like an immersive experience.
You don't need to do this for me.
We never give up halfway.
All right.
Wanderer.
Is that because...
You...
I hear a footstep.
This place is... No, there's no... There's... You're awake. What happened? Huh. Not a scratch.
This man is Katsuragi, deputy to Torichio's adopted son, Mikoshi Nagamasa. He found the ballot,
and the rest is history.
In the original version of events.
Let me get you out of here.
During the Tatarasuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor, disguised as the second, but Katsuragi...
Katsuragi seems like he was a good guy.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life?
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabuki Mono.
That's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
Huh? What are we doing back here? Whoa.
I was abandoned.
Okay, I heard my mom. He kept calling.
But you can't.
Yup. This child did after his mother died. After leaving Tatar...
What happened to the child?
He died from it.
Hey! What's wrong? Say something! You promised me we could be family! The voices have gone.
Let's keep going.
You do realize you're blocking my path.
I come not to obstruct you. I've been waiting. What you are truly is a weapon. One that can be wielded with an iron will. Or you could continue to drift aimlessly.
Are you trying to win me over?
A long-fated rebellion has begun. Why not take your place at the banquet and join those who shall feast?
Let's light it up!
Let's end this quickly!
Illusion shattered!
This isn't good.
Now you shall perish!
Who's this?
There is no escape!
Riptide!
I must counterattack! Finally, some quiet. Come at me! No excuse for
light it up!
You can't run! Well, go on! Give me a gun!
Inazuma shines eternal!
You've only just begun! I see through you! Looks like I went too far.
This place is dark.
In the original version,
Such a creepy atmosphere. Hey, look over there!
Well, well, my fair lady. Is this rundown factory and these incompetent fools all for me? Wow. You shouldn't have.
Huh. What do you have to gain from belittling? Perhaps you find fighting in the abyss to be a more...
What a sharp funny how negotiating never seems to be your strong suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you keep your true feelings to yourself.
Save your breath. I know what I have to...
I'm sure you think so.
Surely.
I just can't have you getting in my way.
I'm merely lighting a little fire in this chaotic nation. But you, being taught... Do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the TRiD3NT look at you. Oh, by then, see you at the victory feast.
Poor little tongue? Forget it. Someone might...
the plot does not end here. There is more of this story to come.
Yes.
Why are you staring at me in silence? Can't you think of a nicer way to express yourself?
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you. Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results and your own interests. Isn't that right, witch?
Muddle-headed puppet. You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be around as a raging inferno. But before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
Let me
Shouldn't let your guard down.
Blink! Taste more history! Illusion shattered!
You really know how to get me going.
You're pretty good.
Shine down!
Look at me. Just
wait, hear me!
You can't run from death.
Looks like we've arrived in Sumeru. Is that?
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis, refused to join this project, I'll take part in the experiment in his place.
Welcome. I look...
When do we start?
You seem impatient.
The biological transformation.
Nothing worse than...
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you. Alas, after that...
That was gracefully worded.
I suggest you speak to me in...
The doctor again?
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
It's normal for...
Let's move on.
You're a god.
If you accept that he is...
In your eyes?
Do you think whoever has...
I've seen enough, no matter the consequences. Can you return my memories to...
Huh? But...
I've always believed that as a puppet lived...
Regaining your memory. Are you sure you want to do this?
I've lived with the void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me. And ever since I awoke, but then I met you. And I finally... I've always felt it, so I beg you.
Very well, since your mind is... You have made your decision. Now, take this.
Set him free?
A puppet? What's he doing here? You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled.
This is my...
Is he alright? No way!
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end.
This is trying my patience.
Have you got all your memories back now?
Questions?
Evil human!
Too slow. The wind rises.
At my command, you shall fall. Behold. Feeble human.
Wretched vermin. Swollen fury. My endless cycle begins! I'm used to this. Quick, follow me. The wind rises. Imbecile! Get out of my sight.
It disappeared. Did we win?
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
There's the tone of voice again. You're definitely back to your old self. Wait, but it was you inside that thing too. What?
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way... You sound like you're concerned about me. But don't worry. Thanks to you, even if I didn't change a thing, at least I now know the truth.
The memory recovery seems to have been...
Come on. Let's continue this outside.
Welcome back, Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer.
It feels like we just...
You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But I was just thinking, I should probably change it. After learning about everything the doctor did, I'm not planning on returning to the Fatui. And they wouldn't take me back anyway. Recent events will have affected a lot of people.
So, you're quitting the Fatui for good?
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile, but it was...
But that doesn't mean your own past has disappeared.
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had, you weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can see and under changing the world, changing the past, changing the fates of other people. What you were looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence, the world will not heed your will.
Indeed.
Do you regret doing all that when you've gotten so...
Even if I'm completely worthless, there's nothing in the world worth regretting. Lesser Lord Kusanali, you purposely left that information in Irminsul, didn't...
Yes, and I took pains to make sure that you'd acquire that information.
Why would you go to such lengths? You trying to win me over too?
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you over was indeed a part of my plan. But before that, I wanted to tell you the truth about your past. If all I wanted to do was use you, then I'd be no different from the doctor.
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my virtues.
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if embracing my sins is what... Oh, right. I almost forgot. You're the good guys. You're into justice and all. Sorry if I have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to end up with the best helpers. I can live with that.
I'm glad you're able to think of it in that. Traveler, in the future, I'll continue to search Irminsul more deeply, and including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul. What exactly happened before and after that point? I want to know as well. I will try.
Traveler. After I dove into the information torrent in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma? So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. Well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor. And I'll do everything I can to pay it back. Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals. I'll balance the books one day. Don't you worry.
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that can be reset to zero. I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing. Some things in this world can... Everything that you feel is real and lasts. To be human is to live with imperfections. You can...
But humans can't live without a heart, can they? Anyway, I gave up trying to become a human a long time ago.
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. The past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on. And the long—
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
Everything's ended up being pretty darn complicated.
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal. Why don't you choose a new name to celebrate?
Ooh! Paimon wants to pick an ugly—
Why?
Because Paimon's—
Then I hope we don't see much of each other in the—
A name is life's first gift. The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new name, maybe you can ask them for ideas.
No! Paimon only does nicknames! If it's a serious—
Have you got anything? Are you sure? Oh, all right.
There. Now you have a name of your own.
What about a nickname? Take your time. I don't need everyone who manipulated me and made me—
You mean
the doctor.
Now that your stance has changed,
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. Well, they ought to know. I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, please tell them that I was the one responsible for the Raiden. Even though the events have been erased from the world, they still deserve to know the truth.
I see.
Huh? But—
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest if they so desire. Maybe that's how it always should have been. No nonsense. I like it. All right. Let's call it goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
He's gone!
What he went through today would have been—
Yeah, true. But even so we can finally go—
Thank you both.
I've got it! I can end my novel.
You mean because...
Yeah! I heard that Mikoshi Nagamasa died. The Dark Cloud. Then, one night, as an old man, all these expressions, life is a...
we had a break. As soon as you stop, all the tiredness and hunger comes rushing back. Wow! Huh? Look at the vid. Did someone break it while they were cleaning the room or something?
You sound lost and confused. I know why you are troubled. Any who knew of this would find their mind overwhelmed.
Huh? Is there someone here talking to us?
Unfortunately, the fate of Teyvat cannot easily be changed. Perhaps a god may have a slim chance, but for anyone else, who can say? When a small animal runs into a tree trunk, though the tree like a vase that falls to the ground, whether it is...
Who are you?
History does not change easily, but human hearts can. Believe your own eyes. Only that which you see is true. What is unseen is but an illusion.
The voices disappeared, and who the heck was that? And what were they doing? Anyway, it feels wrong just leaving it.
Onwards. We have work to do.